I have an idea. How about a computer game that shows what a libertarian world would be like? A common complaint I hear from people about libertarianism is that it has never been done in real life. Although I think an argument could be made about it having done in the early part of the American Revolution, the American U.S. government. But it is a common complaint. Well, how would you run things? How would you do this? How would you do that? How would you do the roads? How would you do the schools? How would you do the police? How would you do the fire department? What would you do about the poor? What would you do about the sick? Senior citizens, immigrants, all these type of questions. And they say, well, it's never been done before. Even though individual parts have pretty much all been done, but they haven't been done as a whole. If we had a computer game, something along the lines of SimCity, or The Sims, or Civilization, where the game mechanics are all based on libertarianism, from a libertarian perspective. What we think would go badly goes badly in the game if such and such is done. What we think would go right goes right in the game. Critics would call this, well, this is not an idealized situation, this is not real life. And great, let's have a debate about it. Let's have the game designers tinker with their game to make it as reality-based as possible. I would base it in the present day. Maybe not, you could do it grand, it could be a whole world. You could do it, that would be probably very overly ambitious. And then there is the aspect of doing it with islands. Where each island, it runs by kind of its own separate rules, or you could have maybe a libertarian island and a communist island. Each being kind of like a test case, an example, a study in how these economic systems would work. Very highly debated, sure. The other way you could do it is by having kind of like the reverse game, having it being kind of like 1984, taking the present day and having, I believe the character is called Ragnar in Atlas Shrugged, having a militant libertarian fighting against the system. Each fight kind of being an illustration of some point about libertarianism, showing the negative sides of big government, etc. Now, game companies are there to make a profit. They're not there really to educate the public. They just aren't. So I'm going to be proposing this to gaming companies, and I'm going to be sending them a link to this video. I think that if libertarian YouTubers were to get behind this game, we could do two things for the game. One is we could provide the funding for it. There could be a Kickstarter campaign or an Indiegogo or whatever you want to crowdfunding platform to use that could be started up by the gaming company. And then essentially you give like affiliate links to all the libertarian YouTubers. And if they promote it and then their followers, their subscribers use their affiliate link, that libertarian YouTuber might get, I don't know, a share in the company, maybe 0.001 share. Not in the company, but in that game. The game being incorporated as a separate entity. And thus the more a YouTuber is able to get their followers to give to the Kickstarter campaign, I'll just use Kickstarter, but you can put in any crowdfunding source platform that you'd like to have. But for everyone that comes there and donates, that YouTuber gets some share in the company, maybe based on just each donor, maybe it's based on how much that each donor gives. That can be worked on out. There are now 2 YouTubers that have over 500,000 subscribers. Others are rising in the number of subscribers. I believe Julia Borowski, I think she has 80 or 90,000 right now. This is a way for the gaming company then to get the funding to be able to do the game. And then the other thing that the YouTubers can do is then participate in the development of the game, give their input, tell the game company should sit down, the game designers should sit down with these libertarian YouTubers and get their input on how they would structure the world using libertarian principles. Now, if it's the opposite game, whereas Ragnar, whereas militant libertarian fighting against the system, they'd be brought in too. I mean, we know the opposite as well as we know our ideal. And that's where the YouTubers can say, well, how about this? And giving a different perspective on why this is bad from a libertarian perspective. And then that being a mission for that militant libertarian to go and destroy or take down, etc. In that kind of anti-world, which could be done up as a first-person shooter. I mean, truly a militant libertarian. You can make it really, really dark. Probably the darker, the better. You could take them. I would suggest taking the modern-day world now in the United States, Trump's United States, and kind of taking all his policies to the extreme. If we had done this during the Obama administration, I would suggest the same thing. And then as this game exists, especially if it's an online game, a continuous game, then as maybe in 4 or 8 years when Donald Trump is no longer in office, the game changes to who the next president is. Kind of like, for those who are Star Trek fans, kind of a mirror world. Here is either a libertarian version of the modern day or an anti-libertarian version of the modern day with a militant libertarian trying to fight the system. As far as a libertarian version of today, I would make it Donald Trump. I'd have Gary Johnson having won the presidency. Possibly he was able to win a state, and it did go to the U.S. House, and all the Democrats knew they couldn't get Hillary Clinton elected, so they all pulled their votes together and voted for Gary Johnson and deprived Donald Trump of the victory, and then they were able to get just enough never Trump Republicans in the U.S. Senate to go along with it, and now Gary Johnson's administration, he took on over. Maybe this is his second term. I would make it maybe like more the idealized world. He instituted all his policies. They succeeded, and now this is the libertarian world, and it's maybe the game starts with the kind of like the second inauguration of Gary Johnson having won re-election. This is an idea. Another thing that libertarian YouTubers can do is obviously bring people to the game. The more the developers bring in the libertarian YouTubers, letting them have a tour of their gaming company, letting them sit down and interview the game designers, etc., filming maybe the conference meetings between one or more libertarian YouTubers and the game designers. It just creates buzz. It advertises the future coming game. It's just a way that you could promote the game and get a lot of subscribers to the game, and possibly make it very successful. I'm not saying it would be maybe a AAA game. It would have to very likely just be an independent game. Although if a AAA gaming company wanted to do it, obviously that'd be a fantastic thing to have happen. But the only thing I would caution is not to be overly ambitious. If it's merely a mirror world where either it is just a libertarian version of the modern day or anti-libertarian version of the modern day, kind of taking it to the extreme, just kind of not going too big, maybe just having it be one city. And then if the game starts to succeed, you add in another city, or maybe just one island probably would be the best way of doing it. So it's kind of a self-contained world. This is the independent libertarian nation of Mawa, whatever you want to call it. And the gamer lands at its little port, and this whole little island runs on libertarian principles. I'm going to be submitting a link. I'm going to be contacting libertarian YouTubers to see who would be interested in getting on board this. I'm also going to be contacting gaming companies to see who would be interested in creating this game. Very likely, if the libertarian YouTubers are willing to do help do a crowdfunding for this project, very likely that will be the kind of like the thing that gets the gaming companies to give this serious consideration. So anyways, if you like this idea and you work in a gaming company, please contact me. Go to my YouTube homepage, go to the About page, and use the business email address to contact me. If you have an idea for how such a computer game could be done, post it in the comment section below. I'm also posting links to this video, will be posting links to this video on the Libertarian Read It group and on the online forum called Libertarian Forum. If you have an idea, post an idea there on those two forums. If you know someone in the gaming industry, send them a link to this video. Help propagate this idea on out. If you like this idea, please post it to your Facebook page, tweet it on out, and that really helps a small channel like mine grow. If this is the first time you've watched my channel, please subscribe. In the last 20 minutes of this video, there will be a circle with my picture in it. Click on that and subscribe to my channel. Also, I have a mailing list, and when it gets to 100 subscribers, I will be producing a weekly unlisted video where I reply to comments posted to last week's batch of public videos. If you'd like to see these future reply to comment videos, in the description below is a link to the mailing list sign-up form. Please subscribe. Alright, hopefully this can be done. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.